Hello guys, this is Mr. Kareem and today we will talk about adjectives in English. An adjective describes a person, place, thing, or idea. An adjective modifies nouns and pronouns. It's a word that adds something to the meaning of a noun or pronoun. It may tell what kind, which one, or how many. So simply, the adjectives gives us some more information about a noun or a pronoun. Let's see the types of adjectives. Number one, we have a proper adjective, which describes a noun using a proper name. For example, Hong Kong is a Chinese city. So here, where is the proper adjective? You will find it all the time starting with a capital letter. So of course, Chinese is the proper adjective because it describes the word or the noun city. Okay? I like the American football. Where is the proper adjective? Of course, American. It starts with a capital letter and it describes the noun football. The second type is called demonstrative adjectives, which describe a noun using this, that, these, those. So we have four demonstrative adjectives in English. What are the differences between them? This and that for singular, these and those for plural. Okay, what's the difference between this and that? This for the near things. When you want to point something near from you, use this. That for the far things. The same thing with these for the near and those for the far. Let's take an example. This chair is broken, so this is the adjective. These clothes are wet, this is the adjective. The third type is called articles, like a or an. We use them to refer to any one item in a group. And also we have the, which used to refer to a specific item or more than one item. So a or an for singulars, that can be for the singular or plural. A used before words begin with a consonant sound. Example, I need a phone. So here is a before the singular noun phone starting with a consonant, which is the letter P. I need a phone. I can't say I need an phone. I need a phone. Okay. An used before words begin with a vowel sound. What are the vowels? 5 sounds and 5 letters in English. Remember them very well. A, E, I, O, U. We call them the vowels. So when the noun starts with a vowel sound, we have to use the article an. Example, I ate an egg last night. So here's the noun egg starting with E, which is a vowel sound. So we used an egg. An for singular, so only one egg. For the, we use the for specific object or objects, singular or plural, that both the speaker and the listener know. Something we know. Okay? Example, can you give me the box on the table? So here we used the article the, before the word box. So it means that the speaker and the listener know very well about which box that he needs. Okay. After that, number 4, we have the order of adjectives should follow this rule. Take care, guys, of this point, please. It's very important. When you describe something, by some adjectives, you have to follow this rule. You have to start with the numbers. After that, opinion, your opinion about this thing, is it good or bad? Then the size, big, large, small, and so on. The age, if you are telling the age of someone. And finally, the color. Okay, let's take an example. A big red car drove down the road. So here I'm just describing the car using the size. As we said, we have to start with the size. After that, the color, which comes at the end. Okay, so I can't say a red big car. No, it will be incorrect. So we have to follow the rule. A big red car, we started with the size. After that, the color. Okay, what about the commas? The commas separate two or more adjectives describe the same noun. Okay, example. The angry tiny white puppy had the loudest bark. So here I'm just describing the puppy with more than one adjective. So we started with angry, which is my opinion. Okay, after that the size, like the rule, then the color. Okay, so I'm just following the rule. Okay, opinion, size, then color. And we use the comma to separate two or more adjectives describing the same noun. So I'm describing the puppy with more than two or three adjectives. That's why I'm using some commas. Okay, number 5, we have the comparative adjectives that compare two nouns or pronouns by adding er to the adjective and followed by the word than. Example, Omar is taller than Ali. So, comparative adjective, we added er to the adjective tall and followed by the word than. Another one, the truck is bigger than the car. The adjective is big. We added er, then the word than. Here, guys, if you notice, we doubled the letter G. Why? Because the adjective big ends with a consonant, which is G, and preceded by a vowel, which is I. So the rule is to double the last consonant before adding the er. Number 6, we have the superlative adjectives that compare more than two nouns or pronouns by adding est to the adjectives. Example, he is the strongest student in the class. So the adjective is strong. We added est to make it superlative. He is the most strong student in the class. He is the strongest one. Okay, I'm not comparing him with only one student. No, I'm describing him as the best, the strongest one. So this is called superlative adjective, adding est to the adjective. Another one, I played in the smallest playground in the school. So the adjective small, we added est at the end. Sometimes we use more before the long adjective to compare two items. Okay, take care of the word long adjective. Okay, I'm talking about how many letters. Okay, so example, the lion is more dangerous than the dog. Here the adjective is dangerous. I can't add er because it's very long. So I'm adding more before the adjective, more dangerous. We also use most before long adjectives to compare more than two items. Example, Messi is the most talented football player. So the adjective talented is long, so we added most before it to compare between two items. For good and bad, they have irregular comparative and superlative forms. We use better and best to compare instead of good. Example, Osama is better than Bashar in reading. So here we used better, which is a comparing form from the word good, from the adjective good. It's irregular. We didn't add er. No, we changed the adjective from good to be better. This is called irregular form. Another one, she was the best in doing the homework. Best is the superlative form from good, irregular form. We also use worse and worse to compare instead of bad. Example, this story is worse than the one we read yesterday. This is the worst story ever. So here, worse and worst, comparing and superlative forms from the adjective bad. They are irregular. You have to remember this. The comparative form of many or much is more. The superlative form of many or much is most. Let's take an example. There are more students today than yesterday. So, more, I'm comparing between today and yesterday. We used more as a comparative form from the adjective many or much. Another one, my brother has the most experience in his work. Most is the superlative form from many or much. Finally, the last type, predicate adjectives, follow linking verbs and tell about the subject of a sentence. Example, Sarah is kind. Sarah is kind. Where is the predicate adjective? Kind. Yes, we are describing Sarah. And another one, we became scared. Where is the predicate adjective? Scared, because it's using the same subject of the sentence related to the subject of the sentence. If you ask yourself, who are the people, who are the scared people? The answer will be we, the subject. Who is the kind girl? We will say Sarah. So the predicate adjective will be related to the subject of the sentence. Okay. Finally, I want you please to answer these exercises. Okay. And if you have any questions, I'm ready to answer. But before we leave this video, we have to watch a clarifying one.
Adjectives. An adjective modifies or gives more information about a noun or pronoun. It tells about the quality, quantity, number, or order of the noun that it describes. Adjective of quality. An adjective of quality answers the question, what kind? Example, the hungry fox chased a cat. Hungry answers the question, what kind of fox? Adjective of quantity. An adjective of quantity answers the question, how much? Adjectives of quantity mostly describe uncountable nouns. For example, there is little water to drink. Little answers the question, how much water? Adjective of number. An adjective of number answers the question or questions, how many? For example, I will be absent for 6 days. 6 answers the question, how many days? Adjective of number also answers the question, in what order? For example, I stood in the 3rd row. All cardinal and ordinal numbers are adjectives. Some adjectives are used with countable as well as uncountable nouns. Remember the following rules with such words. An adjective used with an uncountable noun is an adjective of quantity. For example, I have some food. An adjective used with a countable noun is an adjective of number. For example, I have some dishes. An adjective usually comes before the noun it describes or modifies. For example, this is a huge palace. An adjective may also come immediately beside the noun it describes. For example, the heat made the child sleepy. An adjective can also be placed after the verb to be. For example, this palace is huge. Possessive adjectives and articles are types of adjectives. They come before a noun or another adjective. For example, I have a car. Here, a is used as an article. Where is your car? In this case, your is used as possessive adjective. Very often, we use more than one adjective in front of a noun. For example, the old fluffy grey dog sat beside me. We use adjectives from the size and color groups by keeping the size word first. For example, she has a big white car. We do not use a comma or and between the two words. For example, she has a big white car. Incorrect. She has a big and white car. Incorrect. We use and when using adjectives from the same group. For example, she has a red and white car. Correct. She has a red and white color car. Incorrect.